So it's been about a year since I joined LPT Realty. It was probably around July or June, actually June of 2023. So I'm going to share in today's video and just be super transparent. I did leave, and I have several reasons for why I left. And I do not like brokerage hopping. Like, it's the most cringiest thing ever on the planet. And I know that you lose credibility whenever you move. I really believe that. Like, if I saw somebody that kept hopping brokerages, I'd be like, this person clearly needs to figure out her life. But on the other hand, I also strongly feel that it doesn't matter how many brokerages it takes to help you find the one that you actually like. And I think a lot of people are just highly impulsive when it comes to switching brokerages. For me, when I left EXP, I was really only there for my team. And then when my team left, I really wanted to go with them. But by the time it was all said and done, the entire team had unraveled, right? So, like, we had a 52-person team across several different states, and I was a team lead, and we were getting ready to build a partnership and some co-ownership. And so that was my goal and my focus at the time. So when everybody went over to LPT, I kind of, didn't go right away. It took me a while to come. And when I did decide to go, LPT was packaged in a way that was kind of a little bit misleading. I don't want to say it was a lie because, LPT is a great brokerage. I'm not in any way saying that it's not. And I'll get into the full details later on in this video, but I kind of wanted to lay like the groundwork of my background. Because my biggest thing is, for when people are moving brokerages, they're trying to find the best one to go to. The best one is relative, right? It's not going to be a one size fits all, and it's not going to be something that you can just choose based on what everyone else is saying. And so my thing is, instead of being impulsive and switching brokerages, maybe go the route of hiring a coach. If it's more deals that you're looking for, if it's more leads or closings, maybe you want to work on your sales pitch, your sales strategy. There's different things that everybody needs, and you really have to decide where your weaknesses and your motivation for leaving, because you're not going to be able to get everything that you need inside of one brokerage. You will probably need to supplement that with either a mastermind with other real estate agents at other companies, or you're going to need to just hire a coach and have them help you do all the things that you need to do to get your sales up. And that's pretty much what I did. I ended up hiring a coach that was at a completely different brokerage, but I didn't join that brokerage. I didn't go over there because I wanted, whatever they were having to offer. I just hired them because I loved being where I was at for that time being. But before we get into why I left, I want to go over the cost, because a lot of agents will change brokerages because they're concerned about the costs involved. And when I looked at the numbers, everything was pretty much generally the same as far as, the dollar amounts. And it really depends on what you're looking for if you're joining a team. Maybe the team has a decent split, but you're also splitting with the brokerage. So that's why I liked LPT for newer agents that wanted to join a team. That way they're not necessarily getting double dipped on their splits. So they will pay that $500, but then they also pay their team split. It's a little less painful until they cap, so they've got lower caps. And there's different models and different ways that a team leader could play to kind of help their team members. But some teams, and not all teams, but a lot of teams will give you all the tools that you need to make more money. So there are teams that I know of in my market where the average agent is making about 150 to 200K per year in GCI, but they're well trained, they're getting leads, so there's a lot of things that are involved around that. But if a team member is concerned about the specific split, they don't want to give as much, but they enjoy all the tools that they get from the team, LPT was great for that. But knowing that the team leader would not be able to make as much in revenue share as they would at a different brokerage. But my reason for leaving LPT was not because of the splits. I was on an 80-20 split. I wanted to join at the founding member level and get the 1.4 stock. Even though LPT is not public, I trusted that that was going to be the case going forward in the future. And obviously, their plans are still to go public by 2025 or later, right? So I wanted that ground floor opportunity to be able to build a downline, which I'll get into later on when I talk about why I left. But before we get there, I do want to talk about the costs associated. So basically, I was looking across the board. I looked at Epique, I looked at Real, I looked at um, obviously EXP. I had already been there, so I wasn't really looking at that as a brokerage. But I looked at Fathom. I even looked at some of these smaller brokerages that weren't as well known. They're not small, but they're not well known. So I looked at some other 100% options, and the 100% options are great. I think they're amazing. I love that LPT has the cap. Some of the other companies don't have a cap, so it's 100%, but then you end up paying more if you're a high producing agent. So all the fees generally look the same. So Epique was a little bit more expensive than the rest, but they also give back to their agents. And I really don't like when people say we're giving you free this, free that. It's not free, right? It's not free. I wish brokerages would stop saying that, because it's basically like everyone's putting their pile of money into, or all their money into a pile, and then they're taking your money and distributing it, kind of like a timeshare, in my opinion. Like everyone's paying for this so that they can have access to all these things. And the reason why I didn't go to Epique was because I like not having to pay that monthly fee. And most of the tools that they offer, I wouldn't need. Like, I don't need health care, thank God. My husband takes care of that. I don't have pets, so I'm not going to use the pet services. What else do they have? The marketing, the car washes were only available in certain areas. The photography was only available in certain areas, but you did get a little bit of a credit back if you ended up using your own photographer. The transaction coordinator, it was through a company. And so my thought about around that was I wanted to use my own vendors because my vendors have become friends of mine. So I wanted to be able to use my own TC, my own photographer. I think it's great for agents that it doesn't matter who they use. And then the other thing I looked at was that 0.01% fee on every transaction. And I looked at that and thought, well, I might as well just pay my own fees. If I'm going to be paying fees, I might as well let it go to a friend who I can call. My TC is pretty open and available for me, and I'm sure their TC person is fine. But I just like having that one-on-one personal, thing where I can say, hey, it's local. And I'm not saying that Epique's person isn't local, but someone experienced in my own market who knew my market very well, even knows the people that live in the Springs. Like, they know everyone in town because they've been doing it for so long. So I really liked that. And same with my photographer. So overall, my experience at LPT was great. I loved the Motivational Mondays. I think that Robert Palmer is a genius. I got to know Jen McDonald really well. She's now the VP of the Western Slope or whatever. I really got to know her well, and she's been Johnny on the spot, always taking our calls, always helping agents, just going above and beyond. I'm super grateful for her because the previous broker, never heard from her, never interacted with her. I would email her multiple times, never got a response. And so I would have to submit a ticket to get a response, and it was usually days later. So when Jen came in, I was thrilled about that. And now that she's been promoted, super excited for her, but concerned about where the new broker would, and I'm sure they're going to be great. She's not going to hire someone that isn't going to be just as amazing. And so a lot of the agents felt that they weren't getting the support. Like, I never had issues. Anytime I would put in a ticket, I always got support right away. But at the same time, for a 100% brokerage, and I've been told this by other people, is that you kind of get what you pay for. If you want a big box brokerage, if you want support where you can walk into an office and immediately get a hold of someone to help you, then LPT is probably not for you. It's really more for people that are driven and that can pretty much figure things out on their own, that they can, I was taking classes for the buyer agreement stuff. I was doing all of that on my own. And, when people would ask like, hey, are we going to have any training? They are doing training now, but, you know, today's the 13th of August. These changes basically roll out on the 17th, which is only 4 days away. And now they're starting to do these mini rallies. And a lot of other places have been pretty proactive in kind of answering questions for agents and helping them in any way that they can. And this is just my experience. Someone in Texas can have a completely different experience. In my experience, I saw Robert Palmer. I don't know why that's so hard to say, but I saw him acting very quickly whenever there was a big issue within the company. I saw that he cared, and he's very competitive. He wants to build a big brand. So nothing bad to say other than the misleading package that was shared with me when I first came over. Love the no monthly fee. They do take out $500 on your first year. So my first check was a referral. So they took $500 out of that referral plus the 20%. And so it was a very small check. But that's what I signed up for. And like I said, I was on the 80/20, and I did cap at $15,000. And that was a moment for me to reflect on what that $15,000 meant for me and what I was getting out of it. So of course I called my downline, and I just wanted to let them know, and that I was going to be moving. And a lot of them were really happy, the ones that were on the 100% commission plan, because they liked only having to pay $500. So for them, it was worth it for them to go out and take care of their own business and handle things on their own, very, very independent, and didn't really need any hand holding. But some of them felt like they wanted a little bit more support. They wanted a network, and they wanted more community, which might be the case in other places where LPT is huge and there's a lot of agents. But here, there's not that many. There's probably less than 200 agents in the entire state of Colorado. And a lot of them do want the support, especially right now in this weird time of real estate. They want to be able to bounce ideas off of other people in person, or at least where they can connect easier. We had a Colorado state group, which I'm sure is going to grow. The more LPT grows, the more active it is. I'm sure that's all going to happen. I have no doubt that LPT will grow. But it's missing the collaboration, which was making it hard for me to attract agents that want to come to the company, because they want that collaboration that wasn't being currently offered. Not to say that it won't be in the future, but it wasn't being currently offered at this time. So really what I was looking for was a little bit more culture, a little more network, and a lot more modern marketing, because most of my business comes from doing content marketing. I have a YouTube channel, and that's where pretty much a lot of my business comes from. And it's a scalable way to build a business. And so I wanted to be around other people. I kind of felt like I was in the wrong tribe, I guess, even though LPT was amazing. They're such great people. They're fun to be around. I still felt something was missing. And this is what I recommend for a lot of people that are thinking about changing, is actually going to some of the rallies and the classes and all the things that are being offered. It's a great way for you to connect and feel the energy and feel the group, to see if it's something that you can and want to do, right? Because I think we switch thinking that the grass is greener on the other side when it's really not. Sometimes if you're feeling like you're on an island, all you need to do is reach out and plug in, especially if you're at a cloud brokerage, and start developing relationships and, doing things that way, which I did. Like, I had a great network in a community. The reason why I left was because I was looking for more of an opportunity for the revenue share. I honestly did not realize that I had to continue to sell 2 houses per year for the rest of my life to be able to earn rev share. And I didn't fully understand that I had to be capped to earn rev share. So during the time that I was at LPT with very little, I had a podcast, and most of the people that joined LPT came through that podcast, and I made about $800 in revenue share, which I know that LPT Realty created an environment that would repel people that only wanted to come for the rev share, which I think is a very smart decision to repel those people. But in that process, he's repelling a lot of really good talent that loves to help other real estate agents and loves to help build their businesses, because it is a time-consuming thing. And I guess, you could charge for the coaching, or you could charge for this, but going to a rev share company, you kind of go in like being able to kill two birds with one stone, earn the rev share while you're helping your downline and not having to make another extra business out of it just to have, some additional income. It was just kind of, I'm already doing this. I earn when I help other people earn. And so it just seemed like a great thing to do. But in my experience, I was making about $77 when someone was closing out a deal. I would make about $77 because most of my downline, if not all, were pretty much on the 100% plan. And so I do spend a lot of time with people, and I was starting to feel like the mountain of rev share was just getting too big, and I had to evaluate my future. Do I want to have to cap to be able to earn, that's $15,000 that you're missing out on. And so the opportunity at a different brokerage was better. So it's not like I was leaving because I didn't like LPT. I was leaving for a better opportunity to be around people that are like-minded, that are wanting to do more of the scalable systems and marketing. And of course, they teach referral and sphere-based businesses as well. They teach all of it. And so I've been attending their classes and I've been learning so much, and it's been a really nice transition. My sponsors have been amazing, genuinely care about my success. And even last year, I was looking at going to Real before I went to LPT, and my sponsor still was kind to me and was super, just a genuine person, a good person. We did a referral together, and I really liked how everything went. And it was very refreshing. And the motto of work hard, be kind, they really do believe that. And so they attract agents versus hard recruiting. I'm sure hard recruiting is in Real. Like, I don't think that they're this perfect brokerage by any means. I don't know of anybody, but I'm sure I will hear. But it was really just those two things. If I were to want to earn a little bit of side income by helping other agents, then that was an opportunity available to me. And when I capped, I would earn shares. And then as I recruited or attracted agents, I would earn shares. And so it was a similar model, but a little bit more established. So the kinks were kind of a little more ironed out, which I really appreciate because I'm a very organized and analytical person. So, just even the onboarding process was super easy. It was very step by step. It was pretty straightforward on what to do next while you were in that transition. So I did leave LPT to go to Real. And if you are thinking about Real and you want to know more, I can help you see if it's a good fit for you. Because after all these changes, I don't want to change again, and I don't want you to change again. I want you to be fully aware of what you're walking into and what you're getting yourself into for each decision that you make. Because if I were to just sit here, and that was the other thing, I don't want to sit here and tell you LPT is good for you when it's not, or tell you that Real is good for you when it's not. You have to go where you feel comfortable. And that's where I would love to help you decide where that is. If it's at Epique, if it's at Real, EXP, or even KW, those are all things that you want to feel confident about doing and not feeling pressured or having the fear of missing out when it's not something that it's impulsive. And so anyway, there's a link below if you want to learn more and to even see if Real is something that could work for you. I would love to have that conversation with you. But in the meantime, I would suggest that you just really think it through and don't do things out of impulse or out of you're upset, or if you are feeling like you're not getting what you need. There's other options besides switching brokerages that's going to help you make that decision. You don't have to get everything from one person, one brokerage. You can supplement that, like I mentioned earlier in the video. I just wanted to be around people that were doing marketing the way that I wanted to do it. I didn't care much for the listing box. It wasn't like a reason for me to go over there. I mean, there's so many pros and cons, right, for every company. So that's it. That's my 1-year update, anniversary update. Super excited about the future and going forward at Real Brokerage. Would love to hear your thoughts and comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, as I will be continually sharing this journey. I'll see you on the next video.